It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas for Republicans and for moderates who want to hold up the traditions of the Walt Disney World Resort. Because Disney seems to be resorting to doing a normal refurbishment and putting President Donald J. Trump back in front of the Hall of Presidents. It's an attraction they're not attracted to, but they'll do it, and we'll tell you why we suspect that's happening right now. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. They might not be allowed to say such things at the Walt Disney World Resort, but by golly, we can and we will. Today, we're talking about upcoming changes to the Hall of Presidents and what we believe is happening that may anger some who are on the far left. But we know that you are on the far all right. What does that mean? Well, we think you are all right. We think most people are all right, not alt. We think you're dandy and fine and fun, and we like you that way. Welcome to the Sensible Center. Welcome to the Mainstream Middle, and welcome to the Pro Channel. We'll dive in. You click the like button because we're all here, all right. Get it? It's a joke. Folks, here's what we've got. It's out of That Park Place. Walt Disney World refurbishment signals Trump animatronic front and center again at the Hall of Presidents. Here is the story. Walt Disney World has announced an upcoming refurbishment for Magic Kingdom's Hall of Presidents attraction, likely signaling that incoming President Donald J. Trump will be featured front and center once more. It may also be another indication of a Disney company keen to avoid controversy with the middle and right leading patrons they wish to court. Here from WDW Magic, it says, according to the Walt Disney World refurbishment calendar, the Hall of Presidents at Magic Kingdom is scheduled to temporarily close for refurbishment starting January 20th, 2025. While Disney has not provided a specific opening date, the closure aligns with the traditional practice of updating the attraction following the inauguration of a new U.S. president. Now, pay close attention that this is not being announced as a change. Pay attention that it's being presented as a temporary close. Take a note that it's being labeled as a refurbishment and not a redo. And what do we say about all of this? Well, despite the calls by many for Disney to do away with the Hall of Presidents or change it drastically, even with former Imagineers suggesting that Kermit the Frog should be front and center, it turns out that Disney may be ready to stop shouting at the right and the middle and say, you know what, we'll put Trump back front, center, and in the middle if it means that we won't be part of some new kind of campaign. So Hall of Presidents looks like Disney will once again bend the knee, just as they did with this recent Disney Plus Pixar show, and they will do what lefties thought they would do no mo, and that is, well, go back to tradition, go back to what they've been doing, which is just play in the center. Now, I'm not suggesting Disney's going to stay there, but at least on this issue, looks to me like Disney's ready to play ball with the right and the middle. Michelle, are you ready for the backlash that's going to occur? Are you ready for people with rainbow-colored hair and way too many piercings in their face to go and boo the robot? Because that's what they're going to do. They're going to boo the robot. Boo the robot!
Well, I'm going to say, about this, though, the situation, I just hear the words of Shania Twain, and this is my words to Disney, that don't impress me much, because they have to put him there. They have to do it. It's not like, I can give Disney praise for doing what they have to do. He's the president now. You can't not put Donald Trump where you always have the president. Yes, they're going to get some backlash, a little backlash from the crazies, but you would get so much more backlash, devastating backlash, if Disney did not do what they've done for every president. So I don't give Disney even a slight good for you on this. They did what they had to do.
Right. Well, the argument, Michelle, has been that he's just too divisive, that he's just too disconcerting for people, although he won the majority. I like this part of the article. It says, the Hall of Presidents has not been immune to political polarization. The animatronic of Donald Trump, installed after his initial election in 2016, drew significant attention and criticism. Disney's decision to include a speech recorded by Trump himself led to protests, and some visitors reported disruptions during performances. As a result, the attraction became a lightning rod for debate, with some arguing that it should be a nonpartisan celebration of history rather than a reflection of contemporary politics. However, I can remember people shouting at the George W. Bush animatronic before that, to the point that it was unpleasant to attend the show. I've heard people boo the Bill Clinton robot as well. This going way back into the 90s with the pattern of behavior that people have had. I just think that as far back as you go, for whatever reason, people take it upon themselves to make a scene towards the unsentient robot that's on the stage and the recorded audio that's playing, and they ruin people's time. Marvin, have you had this experience before at the Hall of Presidents?
We're acting like divisive politics is a new thing. I mean, people used to catcall the Bill Clinton animatronic. There were people that would scream at the George W. Bush one. I 100% remember this.
Vash, they're kicking Mr. Lincoln out some for the offensive Walt robot.
Right.
Should they ought to put Walt over at Magic Kingdom 2? Because some people suggested that was the solution for this Trump issue, is they'll run Trump like for 2 or 3 shows, and then they'll pull over Walt's animatronic despite his family's wishes to replace him. What do you say?
Yeah, I don't like that at all. It's interesting because this whole argument about whether to feature presidents or not feature presidents, it's gone way back. I believe in the 1970s they were talking about perhaps getting rid of Great Moments Mr. Lincoln at the original Magic Kingdom, that being Disneyland, and favoring a Walt display of some kind. They opted not to do that because I think a bunch of Republicans actually mailed letters saying that they should keep Lincoln in the Opera House at Disneyland, and so he did remain. Now that's obviously changing at Disneyland. In Walt Disney World, it's interesting. I mean, a lot of people have speculated that they might get rid of this show entirely, maybe actually retheme it to the Muppets and so forth. Obviously, we know that's likely not going to occur now with the Muppets actually going in Rock and Roller Coaster. When we look at something like the current Hall of Presidents display where they have the current president actually speaking, that's actually kind of a new thing. I guess in the 1990s, the current president didn't actually speak or wasn't featured as prominently as they are now. So the format for this show could definitely change once again. Walt Disney World's website is saying that this show is expected to return in 2025, so definitely confirmed coming back. What's going to be really crucial to see is in what format. Do they actually change the format of the show in order to reflect maybe internal ideology, or do they actually restore a Trump figure? Now, the Trump figure that they have currently, I don't think is a speaking figure, and I don't think it has the amount of movement that the original Trump figure did when it was a speaking role. So it's going to be interesting to see if they bring back that version of the animatronic, or if they go with something entirely new for this iteration right here. A lot of open questions surrounding all of this.
I did hear, Vash, that they have a new Trump audio animatronic, but it looks brown and laughs a lot.
Yeah, that's they're doing the old Hillary Clinton thing where the speculation was that the company was really looking forward to producing a Hillary Clinton animatronic figure, so much so that they did start production of it before those election results actually came out, and that's why there was a delay in opening in 2017 there. We're going to have to really watch this one because I think there are a lot of open questions about this particular show. I don't think this story has been concluded so neatly as to say that Trump's going to be restored in his starring role. They could do a number of things to lessen the controversy that they see around the show.
They could take that settlement money and turn this into the Donald Trump Museum.
Oh, there you go.
You know what I think they ought to do here? If they want to please all audiences, they wait and they don't bring it back until June. And then for Pride Month, they have the Donald J. Trump YMCA dance party. And if they can get accurate dance moves in there while he's dancing to YMCA, I think both sides can see that as a win. And Disney can just be completely silent and let everyone on both sides enjoy it.
There you go.
A fun, upbeat Hall of Presidents. I love that.
The show changes every time they add a new president into it, right? The narrator will change. I believe Morgan Freeman was the narrator when it was Obama. When Trump first when Trump first was put into it, they ended up removing, I believe, one or two of the first 2 rows to build a spiked orchestra pit around the stage, and now there is always a security guard in there at all times as well, because I guess they were afraid of somebody trying to run up on the stage and do something. So there will always be major changes every single time that they do this. Originally, the president would read a speech that I remember George W. Bush reading a whole speech about just kind of the state of the country during that era. Whereas Biden and I believe Trump both just kind of recite the oath of office given to them by George Washington.
Well, I thought there was a custom speech that was actually commissioned for each one of the presidents. Now, I might be getting that wrong. But I will say
Biden just takes the oath of office.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, that's because
that
he
makes a lot of
forgets
sense.
speech, Marvin. As ever, folks, we endeavor to have a good time here on the Pro Channel, and I have to say that spending time with you, talking about things that truly matter, like the stories that shape our lives and our culture, well, it is the ride of a lifetime to steal from Bob Iger. And that's the only thing we'll steal from Bob because he has great security around his yacht. Folks, as we get ready to say goodbye, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, and stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment right on down below. Let us know your thoughts. We would love to hear from you. And folks, worry not, for more content is still on the way. 3 or 4 times a day, let's do 4. I think that's better. And you know what? Don't forget that the Pro Show is live Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Eastern. You can also join us for our friends on That Park Place, our partner program. We have a good time there too. Folks, until the next time we get the opportunity to have a good time with you, keep learning, keep growing, and as ever, keep having fun.